Happy Sunday, Boalia Desmond here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a fantastic day today. We got snow here in Wisconsin, so we got to do some shoveling. So I titled my message today, Take a Step Back. My message was inspired by a conversation that we had today in our Fierce community that I wanted to share with you because I think the analogy might help one or two of you or a whole bunch of you. So, but I want to remind you today is Sunday, which means that we are entering a new week. And I want you to start thinking about your activity goals, not your results, but your activity goals. What are you going to do this week? And you know, the importance of writing out activity goals is so that you can develop some habits. So maybe you don't even have daily habits that you follow. So once you set your activity goals, that might put you into action in knowing what you need to do in the morning, what you can do in the afternoon, and what your night routine can look like. So very important that you set those activity goals, not focusing on the results because everything compounds, right? Your activity over time will produce you some results. So getting into my message on taking a step back. So Carolyn today shared a story about a woman who had a wall in front of her, right? She couldn't figure out how to see above it or be behind or beside it or get around it. She just had a wall and she couldn't see beyond it. So a friend of hers or somebody came along and said, why don't you just take a step back? Take a step back. Because what happens when we are sometimes too close to something? Your eyes pretty much go cross-eyed and you can't see, right? It kind of limits your vision. So do you have something in your life right now that seems like it's a barrier, it's a wall, and you can't figure out how to get around it, you can't figure out how to get underneath it or over it? This is what happened to this woman. And sometimes you have somebody that's speaking into your life that you're completely ignoring because you think, oh, I've heard that before, or who does this person think they are that they can be giving me advice, right? Sometimes we've become so familiar with our situation that we don't even see the block. We don't even see another way around it. We don't see how we can get over it. So 2 years later, 2 years later, this woman finally thought about that conversation and said, that woman actually just said, I should step back. Maybe I need to just step back. So she took a step back, took another step back. I don't know if she took 2 or 3 steps, but then she realized all it was a pole and she could get around it. What in your life seems like it's a huge wall right now, something that you cannot figure out how to get over, under, or around it because you're too close, because you've gotten too close, or you've gotten your mind closed to any advice or anything that somebody might be telling you to do until you take that step back and have a look. Can you think of something? Could this be you? Maybe you've wasted enough time on a problem that really isn't that big a problem. Don't get so familiar with something that you don't take the advice of somebody that could be that's willing to help you or willing to see something that you don't see. I love what Maria Forleo says, everything is figure-outable. And sometimes we just need someone to come alongside with us to help us see what it is that we've been facing or what it is that we have. Maybe sometimes it's an illusion, something we've built up in our minds and it's saying it's too difficult, it's too hard. There's no other way. There is a way. So take a step back and take a hard look and find out what it is that you can do to change your situation. And sometimes it takes a mindset change, doesn't it? Sometimes we just need to shift, a small shift in our mindset. Sometimes we just need to muster up that faith again in believing in ourselves. That you can get something done, you can get over it, you can achieve whatever it is that you're going after. Sometimes it's just a minor roadblock. So I hope that analogy helps, and I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.